Hi guys, I'm back. I figured out the stopwatch mode. so, um, on the last video, um, Susan had asked me about the GYMBOSS timer, new GYMBOSS timer. She got one almost exactly like this, but it's this new version. And she was asking about the 20 seconds. So on the live video, which if you're watching it now, it'll be a live replay. um, and this will be a live replay too if you're watching it after it's live, just so you know. And Susan was asking about how to set it to 20 seconds. So in that video before this one, I go over everything on how to set that. And actually, I might go through it again real quick. And if I do it well on this video, maybe I'll just use this one. So to turn it on, yeah, you just press, I believe you just press this. It's already on. I'm not sure how to turn it off. I usually just let mine, I just set it and it goes away. So the stopwatch mode, that's what I was trying to was having a hard time figuring out. So right now it's on preset mode, and stopwatch is, you just hit the up and down arrows and it takes you to stopwatch mode. To start the stopwatch, this is your start and stop button. Start. Stop. And what I was trying to figure out is how to clear it. So you clear it with the down button. Takes you back to 0. So start. Stop. Down button. Clear. If you want to go back to the preset, both of these twice. So that was 1 and then 2. And that takes you back to the presets. So let me just see if this turns it off. Yeah, I don't know how to turn it off. So that'll be my next thing I'll have to figure out. But yeah, the 2, we're going to do it again. So this is on your presets. So the 2 up and down arrows, press them both down at the same time. It takes you to the stopwatch. Then you use your start button. This is your start and stop button. Start. Oops, starts the countdown. Or count up, I guess. Right? Whenever you're ready to stop, press it once, it stops. And then your down button is over here. So you can see. Oh yes, thank you. Staying safe and healthy. I don't think I've been out of the house probably but about 4 times since the lockdown. Thank you for the thumbs up. Glad you're staying healthy too, safe and healthy. So the up and down arrows, so that's stopping the stopwatch. The up and down arrows are on the top. So we're going to do this one. This is the down arrow. And that clears it, takes you back to 0. So you're ready to start again. Right? Stop it. So I'm using this button, start and stop. This is the stopwatch. Down arrow takes you back to 0. If you want to go back to your presets, down and up arrow, both at the same time, once and twice. So hitting them one time takes you to the clock, and I'm sure you could adjust the clock if you wanted to. I haven't even looked at that, so I guess that might be a good thing to set on here. But from the stopwatch, to get back to your presets, you have to hit those down and up arrows once and then twice, and it takes you back to your presets. Okay, so I want to keep this short. I couldn't figure out how to clear the stopwatch on the first video, so I wanted to come back on, and I was gonna try to do a live today. I had 2 clients this morning, and after the 2 clients I had to go out and, oh hi, how are you? Did you get your bench, your aerobic deck? Did you get it? I hope you got it. I was just thinking about you yesterday and this morning. I was like, oh, I wonder if she got it yet. I hope so. Let me know if you haven't, and let me know when you get it. Oh, you got it yesterday. Yay! How do you like it? Have you tried it yet? Have you tried different things? You love it? Yay! Good. I know I love mine too. I was gonna do a live today and do something with this, but yeah, after my 2 clients this morning, I was trying to stay clean, and I've been in the house and I've been out to the horses. I had to go and take blankets off, and I don't know if it would even show up, but I have like dog hairs and dirt all over me. And I'm like, well, I can't do a live like that. So I was thinking I might come on probably not tomorrow, but maybe Thursday for a live. So have you used your bench yet? And if you have, what have you used it for? I love mine. It's like I'm sitting on it right now. So far today, I've used it to sit and watch my clients. Okay, wait, let me see. Oh shoot. Okay, there we go. Yeah, no, it doesn't come with the bands. The bands I got, did you see that video? Hold on a second. Okay. Yeah, this, shoot, I think I kept the box somewhere. But the set that I got, it comes with 5 different ones. So I have the other 2 up here. Actually, I'll take them down. So I did a video on these, and I can't remember if I put the link down in the description on that one, but yeah, I really like this kit, and the reason I like it is because the lightest one is 10 pounds, so they're all labeled with their pounds, and most of them, the lightest one is 15 pounds, but this one is 10 pounds is the lightest one. And at first I didn't get it, but now I do. But it goes, wait, let me turn these around. It goes 10, 15, 20, 25, and then it jumps right to 40. And I'm like, well, that's no good. How's that gonna work? But because it has the 10 pounds, right? You can use the 10 and the 25 together. Or no, I guess it would be the 10 and the 20. Yeah, because the highest it goes from 25 to 40. So if you use the 10 and the 20, that gives you your 30. And then you use the 10 and the 15, that gives you your 35. No, wait, the 10, I'm confusing myself. Then you use the 10 and the 25, and you get your 35. And then you have your 40. And then I have the 40 together with the 10, and that gives me 50. And that's what I was doing my lat pull downs with. But you have the handles that have the little snaps, so you can put them all on there if you wanted to use all of them. I forget, total is either 110 or 125 different sets for like different weights, which I doubt I'll ever use all of them together. But what I also liked is they come with I like them both. They're different. What I like about, because I actually have a pull down over here and use that sometimes, but back blast, I don't know if you saw that back blast, I used the tubes for my pull downs over here, and what I did was like I pulled down and like held for a second or two like that, and that gives you a different feel than the free weights. So I think it's just a matter of preference for, you know, what you want to do for that day and how you're feeling, what type of feel you want to feel. So yeah, it just gives you more variety to have the tubes and free weights, and you can also use the free weights and tubes together. I think you said you just have 5-pound dumbbells. You can do, and I talked about this in one video, using a bar, but if you have dumbbells, oh hi, how you doing? If you have dumbbells, I'll show you here. Let me see if I can scoot this back a little bit. Okay, don't look at my animal hairs on my pants. Which I've never really tried it with dumbbells, but let me see how this would work. So I don't know if you can see holding both of them, and you're stepping on your tube. I wasn't prepared to do this. You're stepping on your tube and you're doing both weights and tube. That gives you a totally different feel using them together, because the tube gives you that continuous tension all the way through it, and it just really makes you get like a tight contraction when you use both of them together. If you're using a bar, if you're using a bar, I don't know if you can see my bar down there, you would just put the handle over the end. So actually, hold on, let me get it. Let me get it so you can see. So you would just slide the handle over the end of the bar on each side, and then step on the tube and curl it up, right? I didn't put this one here on the end, but you can see on this side, you would just do both sides like that, right? And that, I used to use that a lot at the gym with my clients. It adds just a little extra, changes it. I think it's good to mix it up to get different feels out of what you're doing. And this kit also came with ankle or wrist straps. So if you're somebody that has like tendonitis or something and can't grip, or you're trying to give that a rest, these are actually good. So even if you're small, these are kind of, they're not like big and bulky, so you can hook and do stuff that way, right, without having to grip. But I've used them for around my ankle for yeah, leg and butt things. So yeah, you can do your kickbacks. And I don't know if you saw the video of my home gym tour after I got my bench and got reorganized. I hung some stuff up over here, but I also put some straps over here. Wait, let me see. Okay. Yeah, so actually there's one up at the very top up there. So there's 3 of them. So I just put, this is an ankle strap here, and I just put it through this part of the garage door, right? And this is like good for, you know, if I turned my bench, which actually, yeah, let me try it. I haven't tried this yet with my bench. I think this will be okay. Oh, let me scoot my camera over a little bit. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. Scoot it back. I don't have my mic on today, so if you can't hear me, let me know. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you like it. It's like, I love mine. It's like you can do so much with it. So, so here I have the bands behind me. So. That works pretty good. So like with the bands, a lot of times you can like come in and just like flex and squeeze. You can go like a slower tempo, right? You can do burns. So you can do them a little bit different than you would free weights, right? And if I hooked these, yeah. So this is on my middle bracket or hook. I have one down below. So if it was down below, that would be good to do front raises. You can also turn and do curls, which actually maybe I'll move it down. But I bought, wait, hold on a second. I'll show you what I bought. I bought these to go on my wall over here under my pull-up bar, but I don't know if my wall will hold it because I think it's just sheetrock. I think there is like one place that would maybe hold them, but I don't really want it over that far, so I thought I would save these for out by the horses. That's why I came up with these back here, which are great. And I have my machine over here that I can hook things with, but it's kind of neat to have them like all right there. But they're just little little brackets, and they're four tubes, right? And they come with these snaps, which that's what this snap back here. is from this set. So you get two, and the screws come with it. So you would screw it into the wall, and then the hooks just go right on there like that. So then you just hook whatever tube you wanted, you know, just like I did with that one. You just put your tube in there, right? So wherever you wanted your brackets or tube holders or whatever you want to call them. Anchors, I think they're called anchors. So I'm going to put those out by the horses, and then these over here, I have three different heights that I can use, and the bottom one is good for yeah, stuff like this. I'll show you. So this is on the lower one, so you can do shoulder raises. You can turn and do bicep curls, right? And this way, then you can move the bench farther away if you want more tension, or scoot it back to lessen it a little bit. But the bottom one would be good, like if I lowered my bench. You know, because you can use the tubes underneath, like the back part of the bench. But this gives it a little bit more. Right, and you could also, let's see if I can do this by myself here. Okay. I've never tried this before. Yeah, that's a little awkward. I think like the best way to do that would be to have like a smaller hook, and just to wrap it around itself like that. That's how I would do it. Like, you know, one of these types of hooks, but a little smaller. Just hook it on there and then bringing it around. I guess you could use that. That would work still too. And that way, you know, you could hook this back there and have that way. Pretend like this is behind me, but you could bring that up. So it just gives a little different feel, a little something extra. That, you know, because the tube by itself has a certain feel, the free weight by itself has a certain feel, together they have a certain feel. So it just kind of mixes it up. And then I usually just follow my intuition, like whatever, you know, whatever comes to me, like when I'm like getting ready to work out, it's like something will pop in my mind and I'm like, ooh, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. And it gives me the feel that I want to feel. And then that way it always like keeps it, I have, how heavy are my dumbbells? My dumbbells, I have 5s, 8s. Can you guys still hear me? I have 5s, 8s, 10s, 12s, 15s, 20. So those are all pairs. I have one 35-pound, and I have two 40-pound, and then I have a couple extras down here, and I have some other extra dumbbells over there. They're all like the lighter ones. Because about 10 years ago, I had a building. It was like a boot camp building. And I got like about, I think 5 sets of like 5s, 8s, 10s, 12s, and 15s. So I have more. This is just like one set of those. And then I also have, a bunch of, wait, hold on. I had gotten 5 of the easy curl bars, and I have plates so I can make however much I want on here. It'd be easier for me to just bring this over here. I have the handles for the dumbbells too. Can you see the dumbbells here? So these come off, so I can like make whatever weight I want with these too. So I have the collars, and I have different size plates, which they're all over there. I haven't brought them over here yet. And then I have my long bar over in the corner. Over in the corner. That's my long bar, so I can use that for squats and stuff. I don't know. I don't think I've used 20s in a while. I've used for curls. Let me see. 15s. This is a 20. That's really hard for me though. But I've just, probably the last 2 weeks, I've been consistent. So I started June 1st to be consistent with my workouts. So the more consistent I am, those will get easier. But the first week I did 4 times. Last week I only got 2 workouts in, but that's okay. I haven't gotten any in for this week yet, so I'm thinking when I get off here, I might do something. Well, I used to be stronger, but I'm bringing some of that back. I just have to be consistent. That's kind of why I started June 1st and wanted to become consistent again, because my body was just, yeah, I was losing strength, and I was seeing it like lifting my saddle up to put the saddle on my horses and stuff like that, and just different things. Yeah, so I thought, okay, it's time, June 1st, to get consistent again. Plus, I was, muscle atrophy, big time. And I wanted to change that too. So I just wanted to feel strong again. And I'm starting to feel, this will be my 3rd week, starting to feel stronger again. There was a time though, probably about 5 years ago or so, I came off one of my horses twice. The first time was a voluntary dismount, and I actually made a video on here when that happened, or like right after it happened. I volunteered the first time and went to jump off, and my spur that you wear, on your feet got caught on the back of the saddle when I was going to jump, and it hyperextended my leg, and I hit the ground and I couldn't move my leg. So I was on my hands and knees. I was reaching to see if anything was broken, because it's like, why can't I move my leg? And I had pulled something back there, and I never went to the doctor or anything. It took a while for that to heal, but my friend was here and she was behind me. She says, you have to get back on. And I said, yeah, I know. But, you know, to get on your horse, you have to stand on this leg and put this foot up in the stirrup. And I couldn't even put any weight on this leg. She says, oh, I'll help you. So we had a glass of wine first, which probably wasn't a good idea. I never, you know, do that and like ride, but it kind of took some of the pain away. And I thought I wasn't going to be on him very long anyway. I just wanted to, you know, get back on him for me, for my sake and for his sake. But I could tell he wasn't settled down, and I didn't listen to my intuition. And I didn't listen, you know, because something was telling me, you know, don't do it. And anyway, she helped me back on, and almost as soon as I flung my leg over, he took off. She had a hold of him, but then she couldn't hold him. He twisted her knee, and yeah, he ran over, and he did a quick turn, and I fell off. I fell right on this shoulder and messed up my collarbone, so I couldn't even reach back, you know, back behind my back like that. So and my hips, my knee, my collarbone, and at one point I had done something to this, and I can't remember if it was from that, but yeah, to lift like the 10 pounds was really hard back then. So it took a while for me to come back, but now I feel really good. You know, I started the keto diet 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, and I think that helped a lot too. I think that might have like helped to help repair everything. I never thought of that until just now, because, you know, your diet's higher in fat, and yeah, now it's like I don't really have any aches and pains. My lower back will get stiff if I don't have enough water in the day. But yeah, now all I have to do, I've been good with my diet for the past couple years. Now all I have to do is just add the weights in and just be consistent. Oh, really? Oh no. What so they gave you the wrong medication? Was that what happened? Yeah, I don't like to go to the doctors if I don't have to. I just feel like if you like have, you know, for the things that happen to me, if you have like body awareness, you know, just with my knee, I just knew I can't do anything quick, and I just have to constantly be aware of my knee. And so I just I kind of stayed away from doing things with the horses, because with horses sometimes you don't know, and if you go to move and you forget, yeah, I just stopped doing that. And I eventually started riding the bike, and that helped, just that circular motion. I had told my clients that for years and years and years. Whenever they had problems with their knees, it's like, let's ride the bike. That circulation, you know, you get that circulation in there, and it's like, so I finally put to use what I've been preaching for years and years and years, and it actually works. It was just something that I had like heard, and it worked with my clients, and yeah, I used it for myself, and it really did work. You know, just that motion, you know, if you think about it, getting the blood circulating, you know, in that area, that blood's going to help to heal things. My collarbone, I just tried to rest it, and I didn't try to force it, but I could tell, you know, it just needed to heal. And eventually, yeah, now I can reach my hand all the way back. But when it first happened, I couldn't even reach my hand like back past my hip, let alone like bringing it up like that. So a lot of times it's just time with things. About a month or two before that happened, the same horse, I had him out in the pasture, and he was doing his free time running around, and I was walking by the tie-up area, and I heard him coming behind me, and I was like, I thought I was over far enough to where he wouldn't bother me, and I looked, and just as I looked, we both kind of moved the same way, and he ran over me anyway. It must have been his shoulder hit me like right there, and I tumbled underneath his legs, and luckily he didn't get me with his, step on me. It knocked the wind out of me because he hit me right there, and I couldn't breathe, and I was peeing blood for that night. And it's like my intuition was saying, I didn't want to tell anybody. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm peeing blood. And my intuition just said, drink water, drink water. So all that night, I just like stayed in the moment and focused on my breathing and just like drank water. I drank tons of water. And by the next morning, it was pretty much all gone. It was like maybe a little tiny bit pink, but yeah, by the end of the day, so it took like a day. But it's like I just like stayed with it, and yeah, it eventually went away. But then I heard that boxers and stuff that get like punched in the kidney area, that they'll pee blood, and it's like that had to have been what happened. He hit me so hard, oh my gosh, it was like it knocked the wind out of me. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to go to a doctor. It's like, just breathe, just drink your water. And that seemed to help. Oh, and then Advil. I was taking 4 Advil every, I forget, is it like 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours or something like that, just for the pain. But so what happened to you? And that's terrible. That's terrible that the doctor would make a mistake. Yeah, I think that's like so important in a lot. I'm seeing that more and more. The older I get, it's like, you just get that, the Holy Spirit guides you, and just listen to it, and I think if you do that, it's like, I think our bodies are amazing, and we can heal a lot of things if we just like listen to the guidance that we get. And and just take it easy, and just be mindful and have your that awareness of your body. Because like for my knee, it's like I just had that awareness for my knee, and it's like you just kind of keep your mind down there, and it has to be consistent. You can't like forget and say, oh wait, I need to get that, but it's like that's where just like being in your body and being mindful helps. It helps you to protect whatever injuries that you have, and like heal it. I think we talked one time a week or two ago about your energy follows thought, and if your thought is down there on whatever's hurt, whether it's like your knee or whatever, it's like the energy goes down there, and I think it's the energy that helps to heal it. But it's like and I think I also said too, it's like Jesus gives you the focus. The devil is the distraction, and Jesus is the focus, and he helps you to focus on and heal. And it's like I feel like that's what happened with my knee. And as long as you have that focus, it's like the things, like if something happens, it's like, oh nope, I can't move fast right this minute. So you take your time. It's when that awareness and that focus isn't on whatever's injured, and you forget, and you go out and you move fast, and then you twist it and hurt it again, right? So, and then for something like that too, for some people, it's like having a brace on to just remind you to keep that, you feel that around your knee, and it reminds you to keep that focus down there. I used a brace when I went out, to feed the horses and stuff. I knew I couldn't do certain things, so I stayed away from those things, but still, whenever you're around horses, if they move or spook or do something, you need to be able to jump out of the way. So that brace just kind of reminded me too, not to do that. But your thought and your focus has a lot to do with, like, I think your healing and your training, to get the most out of your training, that focus and thought, like where's your thought when you're training? You know, if you're training your bicep, is your focus on your bicep or is it on your hand? You know, is it on your hand lifting the weight or is it on the bicep, the inside of the bicep? That makes a huge difference. You know, and it's like, and then I think we talked about too about, you know, your knees hurting when you do squats or leg things. Not yours, but, you know, if somebody's knees hurt, sometimes it's just the focus, shifting your focus away from your knees to like your quads, you know, your upper thigh. Because sometimes when something hurts, we put our focus on that instead of away from that. You know, because if your knees hurt and you're focusing on your knees because they hurt, that's a distraction. And guess who that is? That focus on the negative, on the pain that is hurting, is taking you away from, you know, your upper thighs and what you're supposed to be feeling. But if you can take that focus and put it up on your upper thigh, you'll notice your body will shift so it takes it away from your knees. So focus is a big thing. I was working with one of my clients today, and I had her on the BOSU. The first thing we did was over the tops, where you go over the top, and her balance wasn't that well. So the next thing I says, well, let's focus on your balance. So she just had the BOSU there, and I had her step up on the BOSU. I says, we're just going to step up on the BOSU and just, you know, get your balance under control. So she stepped up really quick, and I should be showing you this because it makes a huge difference, like where your mind is. So let me get my BOSU. It's just right over here. So I'm going to, yeah, let me move my bench. Mess in here now. Okay. Okay, hope you guys can still hear me. I'm going to scoot this back just a little bit more. So, let's see. Yeah, okay. So, she went to step up on the BOSU. Did you see that? Right? It was just, whoa, it was like mindless, right? So she finally got up and she caught herself, right? I'm exaggerating this just a little bit, but she got to where she started to get it kind of under control. And then I could feel her energy. The reason that happened is because her energy was all up here. Right? She was top heavy. It was all up here. So once she kind of got up there and got under control, I could feel her energy start to shift down. Right? It was down here. Oh, no. That's terrible. So the breast screening is a scan? Is that, or do you mean like the mammograms or just the screening? I don't know if that's the same thing or if it's something different. Oh, yeah. I know. I have never gotten that done because I don't know. I don't know if it's just something. Well, I have implants too, and I'm just afraid. I had it scheduled one time and then I canceled it because it's like, oh, I don't know. I did do the thermology. I don't know if that's how you say it, but Yeah, that's like not invasive or anything. I did that one time, and sonograms. But yeah, that's too bad. Um, yeah, I think so too. Especially after a couple different people that I've talked to. You know, it's kind of yes, I think so. It's kind of like they almost make you feel guilty for not doing it, but um, yeah. Well, sorry that happened to you. That's terrible. Um, yeah, they make you feel guilty about things like that, but it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it was just God telling me, yes, I believe that too. Um, and to me, it's like, it's about, I mean, now that I like came back here and started talking to you guys about some of this stuff, I feel like I'm getting more of like a, um, God's like putting all the pieces together for me, even more so. And, um, you know, being centered in your body, which I don't know if you've heard some of these talks, but now the more I think about it, it's like, you know, that's where you get in touch with the Holy Spirit. And, you know, that's where you get in touch with that, you know, your inner light, and with Jesus. And Jesus was a healer. And it's like, when you're centered in your body, you know, I've talked to my clients a lot about, it's like, you know, it keeps you balanced, you know, because well, I only have two online clients now, but when I was at the gym, my clients are like 60, 70, and I had one that was in her 80s. And, you know, balance is a big deal. But if you're centered in your body and you have that body awareness, that keeps you from tripping on, well, you still might trip on things, but you catch yourself because your balance is so much better. But just like what I showed you on the Bosu, um, that shows you right there where your energy is, where your, you know, where your thoughts are, because energy follows thoughts. And it's like, if your thoughts are on something else other than on you and your body, your balance is going to be off. So, you know, not being mindful and just stepping up, you know, while you're in your head, if your energy's up here, you're going to be top heavy. So you get on something that's unstable, like a Bosu, and it's like, it's going to throw you off because you're top heavy. So, you know, the trick is to learn. See, this is another thing that fitness teaches you. Fitness isn't something that's just meaningless, that's like superficial. It's like, it has so many benefits. And I've talked about this kind of stuff for a long time, but the benefit that I'm starting to see lately is, you know, for me, when I get embodied, I get inside my body, it's like I'm in touch with like the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit lives in us. And that's what I was our bodies are the Holy Spirit's temple. And I was showing on my last live, there's a mistake here. And I was like so bummed, and it was my mistake. But that's what this is about, is it's supposed to be a 1 Corinthians 6:19-20. And it's, our bodies aren't ours. Our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit. And we're supposed to honor God with our bodies. That's what this is about. And, you know, I never really saw it that way until probably the last couple months. It's like, all this time I've been talking about this, but it's like, now I'm putting the spiritual with the physical. And, you know, this right here and the balance thing, if I'm not centered in my body, and my energy's all up here, my balance is going to be off. And my balance is off because I'm all in my head. I'm not really connected to my body, right? So if you're living in your head or you're thinking about the future out there, you're not connected to your body. So if you're not connected to your body, you don't have that body awareness. So we have two, and I was thinking about this the other day, we have two, what I call like center points. One is physical and the other is spiritual. So the physical center point is right here, is your core, right? And then with energy centers, this is actually your second one. So your first one is down here, your second one is here, your third one is here, your fourth one is here, fifth, sixth, seventh. So there's 7. So physically, right here, the second one, that is your physical center that connects your upper body and your lower body. And that's what gives you your strength and your power. This is also deals with duality and two things coming together. So it's, to me, it's about where the connection to your weight comes from. That's where it starts. So the first one is about your grounding and getting in your body. And then the second one connects you to the weight, and it connects your upper body and lower body together. So then the spiritual center point is actually this one. So this is your fourth one. So this is the center point between the 3 centers below and the 3 above. So spiritually, this deals with air, and it's also spirit. So to me, this is your breathing. If you're in your head and your energy's stuck up here, usually your air is cut off right here, right? This is like your heart center too. So you get in touch with this spiritually, and then this is like your physical center. And in energy centers, it's like this is your low heart, this is your high heart. So they actually kind of work together. This down here, when you're breathing from down here, you're breathing from your diaphragm. So you're breathing deep. When you're breathing from down here, you can't really be up here. Not in this sense of like, oh, I have to go do this and I have to do that. It's like you're in your body when you're breathing from down here. And in order to tap into your true strength and power to get the most out of your workouts, you have to be down here, right? So the physical and the spiritual goes together. And a good example is stepping on the BOSU like I did. It's like that shows where my thoughts are. When your balance isn't good, you're up here. You're not really in your body, because if you were in your body, you would have good balance. So after she was on the BOSU for a little bit, and I could feel her energy shift down, her breathing started to change. She started to feel more relaxed, which that's what your first energy center is about grounding and feeling the gravity of your body. So I could feel everything start to kind of shift down. So she had some energy coming down her body, and not just all at the top. It started to kind of come down. So then I had her pay attention to what that felt like. I said, "Are you feeling relaxed?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm feeling better." And I could feel her just start to relax. All that was like coming down. So then I had her step off of it, step back on 3 times. And so then I'm like, okay, so now we're going to take it to the next level. So instead of stepping up and then getting balanced when you're on there, this time I want you to remember that feeling when you were on top. And when you're on the ground before you step up, balance yourself before you step up on the BOSU. And she's like, huh. She goes, you know what just happened? And I said, what? And she said, I just felt my energy all of a sudden when I thought, get balanced before I step up, it all went right here. My attention was right here. And I was like, yes, that's what it's about. Your balance comes from being centered. And guess what? Physically, you're going to feel that right there. You're going to feel that in your core. So then this time, when she went to get up, I says, okay, so before you step up on the BOSU, balance yourself, right? So she took a minute. She took a deep breath, and you could just feel that she was more centered. And she went to stand up and got on it, and she was balanced. So that just shows like the power of the mind, and actually just having body awareness. You know, where is your mind? Where is your focus? You know, if you don't know where your focus is, you're not gonna, well, one, you could hurt yourself. And then two, you're not gonna get the most out of what you're doing if your focus isn't like specific. Like you know, even for goals, what are your goals? What do you want to do? You know, and I think for the last, I don't know, couple years or so, it's like I don't really know what my goals are for this. What are my goals? So it's like finally it's like, you know what? It's like you don't have to know what you're trying to do physically. You know, it's like my goal is to be consistent and get at least 2 workouts a week, possibly 3, but at least 2. 2 is my minimum. And if I can do that, that's my goal. So that's all I have to focus on. You know, everything else will kind of start to fall in place. And actually yesterday, I kind of got a sense of what I want to feel like in my body. So I'm going to start working on that too, because that's going to lead me to my training, like what I want to do training wise and stuff like that. That's going to lead me knowing that, you know, it's like, it's just a feeling and an essence of like, I don't really have a specific look in my mind. I know what I want to feel like from the inside out. So that's what I'm going to use to like guide me. But basically my main goal is 2 to 3 workouts per week and just be consistent with that. You know, so when you have a focus, it's going to help you to get to where you want to go. If you don't have a focus, you're not going to get to where you want to go. So you can want all this over here, but if you can't stay focused on what you want, then how are you going to get to there? And it's the same with working out. You know, if you're working your biceps, but your focus is like out over there, so you have some energy over there, you might have a little energy here. It's like, it's probably better than sitting on the couch doing nothing, but it's not going to be to your full benefit. You're not going to get the full benefit of like your actual workout. Where if you stop thinking about what you have to do, or something distracts you over there, you know, you see somebody in the gym doing something or whatever, it's like the second you do that, your energy just left because your thought went that way. So it's like the goal is to keep that focus on whatever you're training. You know, it's like if you're gonna do this, like what I taught her, get balanced, get centered before you start and step up here. You know, she did it, right? That feeling is the feeling you should have before every set, right? That centeredness. You can do that before every exercise that you do. that's going to take you farther into a set. It's going to allow you to lift heavier. So if you're trying to reach a certain goal and you're kind of stuck, you're stuck on a plateau, you haven't like really moved and you don't know how to break it, pay attention to how good is your focus, how good is your balance, and you being centered in your body. Because the more you can stay centered in your body, the better your results are going to be. Because what happens when you get centered before you start your exercise, whatever you're going to do, you get centered, and because you're lifting a weight, each time you lift it, it gets heavier and heavier. And what your body wants to do is, or what your focus wants to do is, your focus wants to leave. Your focus wants to go from being centered and in here to, oh, this is getting harder. Your focus wants to go out. So then you lose your grounding. And your grounding is like your driving force, to help you push through it and push farther. So the goal is to like keep centered. And the way you keep centered, when the weight gets heavier and heavier and harder, the farther you go into a set, the way you keep centered. Do you guys know how you keep centered? What the secret to staying centered is during a set? I'll wait a few seconds. Does anybody know? Besides your focus, there's like one other thing that helps you to it's your breath. Your breath helps you to stay centered, right? When you start to get farther into a set, right? And if you start like coming up here too much because it's getting harder, it's going to take you out of center, and then it's going to make you where it's like, oh, I can't do anymore. So that's why it's like, if you're doing something, it's getting hard, sometimes you have to stop and catch your breath, and that recenters you. Because the farther you push, it's like your focus starts to come, or your energy starts to come up, and your focus is going up. Your focus is like you're trying to push through it, but your breath will start to change. And it's like, when it starts to feel that way, you have to kind of stop at the bottom with your arm totally straight, so there's no tension, to get that full exhale and full inhale. And then that makes it to where you can push a little bit farther and get some more out. But it's like, whenever you are paying attention to your breath and how it's making you feel, and where you're going in your body, whenever you can like get in touch with that, then it's like, okay, you need to stop and catch your breath, and then do some more. Stop and catch your breath again if you need to, then do some more. That's what makes it more intense, because you're just stopping for like a breath to get recentered and focused, so you can push some more and like push through that. So if you're stuck at a certain plateau, whether it's like a certain weight or whatever you're trying to do, it's like getting in touch with your breath and breathing from down here, right? You have to breathe from down here, and you have to get that stale air out, and breathe in the clean air. You have to breathe from down here and take in that clean air, right? And maybe next live, when we're doing stuff, we can kind of talk about that. It helps when you like have an example, when you can like have a visual and see it. But that makes a big difference too. And when you're doing that and you're just focused on your breath and focused on the muscle, it's like it takes you to another level. It's where you can like come inside your body and you can just dig deeper. And that's what kind of pushes you past where you are, and it makes your workouts more intense. And that was leading to something else to talk about, but Yeah, something flashed up on my screen and it kind of distracted me. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Somebody, Michael, had asked me about full rep ranges, like what I thought about how important the negative part of the motion is compared to the positive. And this video is getting kind of long, and also I just saw what popped up on my screen was I have 15% battery left, and I don't have my charger out here. So I want to try to end it before the battery dies, because if I don't, then this thing doesn't shut off and it takes forever for it to process and everything. So that'll be something that I do want to talk about in maybe one of the next videos, is the importance of full range of motion, and how important the negative is. So if you're doing a curl, this is the positive, this is the negative. So I do have thoughts on that. And actually on here, towards the beginning, when I first started coming on here, I think my first video on here was in March. So somewhere kind of towards the beginning, and I have purple on. I think there's 2 videos. One of the videos is called "Do Not Rush the Inhale." And that is the negative part, right? It's like, I don't remember what I said in that video. And then there's another one, I don't know if it's before or after that, but there were 2 of them, and they were all talking about breathing. And actually, I'm going to see if I can scoot this way. So I'm gonna sit down for a second. I'm gonna move this down, maybe. Can you guys see me here? Oh, that's better. So they're both about breathing, and I might even go back and watch them after I get off of here. But the one was titled "Do Not Rush the Inhale," because when you're lifting, it's your mind and your motion and your breath. Those 3 things are like connected, and your body, of course, but your mind and your motion is coming from the muscle that you're working. So that's kind of like the mind-body connection. So when you're connected, everything's connected. This would be the this is Clifta's college. Clifta's fitness college. These are just things that I just learned myself, like, over the years. I mean, this is what I learned, and this is how I like explain it. And then over the last, I would say, probably 15 or 18 years, I've gotten like better and better at learning how to explain what I feel, because I've done it with my clients. Because some of them want to know, some of them don't, but some of them do. Some of them want to, like, okay, well, what, they're like just open to hear whatever I have to say. So it's like, some of my clients, a couple of my clients could be trainers. They know more than some of the other trainers in the gym. It's kind of funny, because they'll look at somebody, and because it's not just, it's like, it's about the energy too, and so I like to put the 2 together. It's not, that's why I say it's not what you do, it's how you do what you do. So it's like, it's how are you doing it? That's body awareness. So a curl, if you're doing it correctly, it's exhale, inhale, right? And what I've noticed is, like, people start to rush the inhale. And what do I mean by that? I mean that, let me come up a little bit higher. They start to not do full range of motion. So when they're coming up and then going down, they're stopping here. And if you stop here and don't come all the way down, you just rushed your inhale. So what does that mean? It means that when you come up and you exhale, when you come down, you're inhaling and you only stop here and then you go up again, shortening that inhale each time, you're not getting all the clean air in that you need to go farther. You're getting rid of air, but you're only breathing in a certain amount because you're coming to here. And then you're going back up again. So you stop here, you haven't taken in all the air that you need to get ready for the next rep. And then you're going up to expend more air. Before you know it, it's like, oh, you just die. So that's why it's important to go full range of motion. All the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. And there's different paces that you can go, depending on if you need more exhale or more inhale, because you can play with that depending on how fast you're doing your positive part and how fast you're doing your negative part. You know, what do you need more of? Do you need more of an exhale or do you need more inhale? Do you need to take in more air to get ready to explode for the next one, or do you need to exhale more? Does that make sense? Again, it's, I mean, and there's like so many variables to it, but that's why full range of motion is important, because you need all the way up to get that contraction, and you need all the way down so you get that stretch, right? So you have your contraction and your stretch. And if you're not getting that stretch, you're also not getting the air in that you need to do another rep. So if you notice that you're like getting stuck and not able to push past a certain point, are you doing full range of motion? Are you getting your complete inhale? You know, especially if you're getting farther into a set, you get to a point where it's like, you need to even take an extra breath to get a full recenter, what I just talked about before, to get recentered in your body, to like, to have that power to explode. So you can't have the explosion to do a heavy weight if you don't have the inhale. You need the inhale in order to get ready to do the next rep, right? So this is your exhale, this is your inhale. So that inhale is actually getting you ready so you can explode off the bottom. So if you're needing to take more air in, make sure this comes all the way down, right? So the explosion of, you know, say you're getting towards the end of a set, you know how you need more explosive energy because it's harder and heavier and you're like, ugh, ugh, right? It's the same thing for a heavy weight. You can't lift heavy, or you can't lift as heavy as you possibly could if you're not taking in that clean air. So the exhale is it's from here. It pushes that stale air out so you can inhale the clean air so you can explode off of the bottom of whatever movement that you're doing. So both are important. The inhale and the exhale are both important, and depending on what you need, you know, like you can take a set and you can go if you need more inhale, if you feel like you need to take more air in, you can either slow this part down a little bit, or you just like come down to the bottom, finish your inhale with the weight just relaxed. You finish your inhale and explode off the bottom. So the negative part is kind of connected to your inhale, and that controls how much you're going to be able to explode off the bottom. If you're not getting that full inhale, you're not going to have as much power. So does that make sense? And I should probably start thinking about ending this because I don't want it to end before I end the live stream. It makes sense. Cool. Yay. So are you asking? Yeah, oxygen is like really important. I would say like I would say two main keys are like, well, let's see. Focus on getting a low battery thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, oxygen is important, you know, because if you can't breathe, you can't do anything, right? I mean, just looking at life, right? The same goes with working out. It's like if your oxygen is off because you're not breathing right and you're not going full, you're not going full range to get all the air in that you can, you're going to die in the set. You're not going to be able to go as far as you could. Same in life. It's like if you don't have oxygen, you're not going to live very long, right? It's cut short. It's the same with working out. So it's like, I would say focus and breath are probably like the two main things. And you know, there's healing in oxygen. Oxygen travels throughout your body. And yes, very important. Oxygen is very healing, you know. And if we're only breathing up here because we're stuck in our minds, guess what? We're not breathing deep. So guess what? We don't get as much oxygen. We don't get as much oxygen running through the body, right? So that's why it's important. But I think fitness teaches us that. It teaches us how to stay in our body and not get caught up in our head. It teaches us to keep that mind-body connection. And when we have that mind-body connection, our breath flows. It's because we're centered. We're centered in our body. We breathe deeper, and that's very healing, I think. Plus, it just helps you to prioritize and know what you need to have done now. It keeps you from getting stressed over things when you're centered in your body. It just feels so good just to be in your body and in the present. You're in the present. You're not living in the future. And I got a second battery, low battery light. So I'm going to have to end this pretty soon, just when it was getting really good. I was on a roll. I love talking about this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's kind of like what you do in the gym is kind of related to like life too, or vice versa, life, you know, and the Bible. It's like I'm learning that like a lot of what the Bible says, it's like I relate it to like, I'm like, I know that through what I did with fitness. It's the same. And I was thinking of like, oh, and I don't want to get into it because I'll be talking and then the battery will go dead, but maybe that'll be something for another video. But yeah, it's like there's a physical side and a spiritual side, you know, and it's like, so our bodies are the physical, the breathing is the spiritual side, and then the mind is the mental side. So you have your mind, body, and spirit, and they're all connected. You know, when you get them all connected, and to me, it's the breath that helps connect the mind and the body. And if the breath is off, then you're not going to get that mind-body connection. If the breath is good and you get the mind-body connection, when you get that mind-body connection, I think you feel and you can use the muscle from the inside out. So it all works together, mind, body, and spirit. You know, it's like, so yeah, I don't want to start again. I'll start off on another tangent. So I'm going to go ahead and end this because I know it's getting really low and the video is getting really long too. So I'm going to plan on maybe coming back Thursday or Friday. I'm going to try Thursday. So does Thursday work for you guys that are on here? Or Light in the Piazza? Is Thursday a good day? And I'm not sure what time it was when I came on here today, but we'll probably do about the same. Okay. About the same time. You came on a little bit later. Is a little bit later better? Yeah, and it might be, I need to do like a, I think an upper body day. So Thursday might be a leg day, maybe. I'm not sure. A leg and maybe butt day. Um, oh, okay. Okay. Um, so I'll look and see, because we're like an hour and 20 minutes. I'll look and see like about what time that was that I started then, and maybe try to come on about the same time. So, and I'll post on the community tab just to, yeah, just when I know for sure, like when I'm going to be coming on. So if you watch that, then, um, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I came across some new um, butt exercises that um, they're done with like cables and stuff, but and then the longer tubes that I hadn't seen before, and I think I might want to try those. So, and the tubes, like, you know, if you can hook a tube up on, do you have tubes? I forget. Do you have one? Did you say you have one or none? No, no tubes. If not, then we'll just, do you have like the, do you have the little rubber bands? Not yet. Okay. Um, should I just do whatever then and like, are you going to want to do it with me or are you just going to want to watch? Do you have these? Because if you want to do something with me, I can like try to make it to where we can do it together. If not, then if you're just going to watch, then I can just do whatever and explain what I'm doing, or yeah, just let me know. I want to make it fun for you guys too. I don't want to be having all the fun working out by myself. If you guys want to work out with me, but there are some um, okay. Okay, well, we'll figure it out Thursday. um, all right, and whatever I think I'm going to do now, it's going to be different by then anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You use your own body weight. Yeah, yeah, because I want to do, um, we can use our new bench. We can do some step up type stuff, and yeah, some different things. Yeah, we'll figure it out then. But I better get off here because I got a low battery light again. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the thumbs up. That really helps me to get my videos out there. YouTube puts out videos when people are liking them. They put them out there so more people can see them. So I really want to try to build this channel. And my watch time has gone up a lot since I started back. So I think I'm at, oh, I forget the number. I have to have 4,000 hours of watch time. I'm like about 400 and something. But that's, I'm up over 100 hours or so since I started back. So it's starting to go up faster and faster. So the more videos you watch of mine, the more it helps. And if you can share and like, that kind of helps to get out, because YouTube just puts them in front of just a small group. And if people like them and watch them, then they put them out in a bigger group. So that starts to like help to grow the channel. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. I just got another little low battery, so I better get off of here. And bye-bye. Have a great, oh, thank you for the little horsey. I see the little horsey. Hope you have a great night, and I will see you guys Friday. So so watch for the community tab. I'll post on there when I know exactly for sure, just to kind of give you a heads up so you guys can be on here. You guys have a great night, and God bless you. Bye bye.